to what I'm doing right now, which is going over 10 Death Battle rematches and giving my thoughts on them. I kind of picked these under the assumption they are either the most popular rematches or the most interesting to think about. And just going to give my thoughts, what I think the consensus generally is, and, what are some pros and cons of this rematch happening over another, or what have you. So first of all, before we get into it, I just want to go over what I consider a rematch, a remaster, or a sequel. Most people want the first category here of rematch. Oops. Uh, Most people want the first category here of a rematch, which is like, let's say, Mario versus Sonic 2 or Doomslayer versus Master Chief. These are full on like as if they did the episode today rather than when they did them, compared to say a sequel, which would be Goku versus Superman 2. This follows the original in some way, it kind of exists in tandem with the original rather than its own thing. And then a remaster has only ever happened once, which was with Samus versus Boba Fett. Um, that was a full-on remaster, so I suppose the 2 was kind of a misnomer, but it was shot for shot, just in 3D, followed the same beats and stuff. It was intentionally designed to be a remake than a full-on redo of if they did the fight today. So we'll just start off with what I think would be the best rematch, Peach versus Zelda. Now this is one I've talked about at length, if you're familiar with me at all. I just think it has tons of potential with all the new content these two have gotten. Zelda especially, actually, has just been a playable character in a lot more games since the first one. She's gotten a lot more new moves. She's a whole game to herself. Peach got another new game. She was in 3D World, which gives her all the Mario stuff that you'd expect Mario to have. A lot more RPG stuff too for both of them. The main cracks I see with this one is that the result is glaringly obviously in Peach's favor. Um, and Peach has other not far more, but other popular matchups like Barbie, so I could see them doing that one. But overall, I think this would be a great fun idea with just so much like cool things, especially with Peach's new outfits and what have you, giving her like cool powers. There could be a sword fight, guys. I think Peach and Zelda having a sword fight alone is worth putting the however many $1,000s of animation budget into the episode personally. But your mileage may vary. Okay, Shadow versus Mewtwo. This is one that I've also talked about a bit. I don't really want Shadow a fourth time, but in terms of being a rematch itself, it's okay, I think. It's not one I'm against anyways. I like ideas anyway, just cool stuff that could really happen. You could have Dark Mewtwo or something like that. You could have, I mean, honestly, you just do a lot of the ideas that were in the first Shadow versus Mewtwo, but do them good. Fix the pacing, the voice acting, make the research better, the analysis better. Fix this thumbnail, by the way. Why is Mew just on a white background? Shouldn't they have like opposite backgrounds? I don't know why I noticed that. Yeah, no, people want this for a reason. Shadow and Mewtwo are great characters that deserve a good episode and not 3 episodes of dog shit. I don't think Shadow vs. Vegeta is like that bad. I gave it like a 4. It's just kind of below par, I guess. But yeah, I think this one would be fun. In terms of other matchups for the two that I could see happening, I've seen Shadow versus Venom posted about a bit, and that one seems kind of fun, but I don't really want it. Mewtwo, the popular one, is Black War Greymon from Digimon. I don't really know much about him because I haven't seen past like season 2 of Digimon, but it seems cool enough, so I'd be down for that one too. But yeah, if both these characters are to return begrudgingly, I guess I accept them fighting each other because I don't really know much about the other matchups, and Shadow and Venom don't have much in common in my opinion. So you know what, I'll take it. Okay, then this one. This one is one that has also been talked about at length by just tons of people. Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099. This is one that is the most recent of the episodes I'm talking about. I believe season 5. And really, people want this one because it's not because the episode's bad. Far from it. It's just kind of eh. Like it doesn't go as hard as this particular matchup could. especially with how much content these two really have. It's like probably like the most like prolific alternate Batman, and probably second most prolific alternate Spider-Man, if because Miles kind of weird because it's not really an alternate Spider-Man. It's whatever. So they have tons of content to go over. They're in plenty of like movies. Well, not Batman Beyond, but Miguel is in a movie anyway. Um, yeah, no, this would be great. With enhanced research, it could go hard. It could go really hard, and I think this is one I really want to see. There's not really any
Pokemon Battle
negatives to
Royale.
doing this one because neither
This
have
is
really
one
any
I
popular
this is another one
matchups
I
that aren't
put
just
in
each other.
myself, and I don't see
Miguel
it
and Spider
requested that
Verse
often.
doesn't, but I want to talk about why I think it'd be cool.
Fiona and Cake.
So the original
I
is pretty
sincerely
good. Like
doubt
it's
that
pretty
one's ever
solid
happening.
for its time.
So,
but I think a rematch of it could really
why not?
enhance it, especially given like the amount the Pokemon series has evolved since then. You could do Gigantamaxes while still following the wild Pokemon rule. Um, the only problem with it is that it is completely undebatable. Like even if you counted like only competitive logic, Charizard wins. If you counted only Feats logic, Charizard wins. Both of them Charizard wins. He arguably won at the time, so it's like now it's not even a contest. But you can also do other starter battle royales if you really wanted to. Gen 3 is a very highly requested one. I personally think Gen 9 would be the most interesting. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I think I prefer a Gen 1 rematch out of all of them. But any starter battle royale running that idea back in general, I'd love to see that. Like I genuinely adore it. Now to go over one I don't want, just kind of sully the pool a little bit, I guess. The TMNT Battle Royale. Now this episode is pretty atrocious. It's boring. It's disrespectful. It has a slur in it, and I mean you want the turtles to have a good episode, so why not do the Battle Royale again? Well, think about it like this: Leonardo is the only turtle who's gotten a solo episode. All three of them have very good episodes, although Michelangelo's generally exists as the last Ronin. Though I have seen him with a guy from Ninjago, so you can do that one too. But Donatello has Marcy from Amphibia and Spider Man. I'm sure Raph has some. I haven't looked into them though. I wouldn't really want them just fighting each other again because you would give each of them a solo analysis, and I think that would be much better. Because Leo's analysis in the Red Ranger fight was very good, and I think the rest of them could get very good analyses too. Analyses. So yeah, I don't really want it, but I do want these characters to come back. Bring them back. That'd be cool. And Splinter. Bring Splinter in. He's awesome. Tracer versus Scout. A lot of missed potential in that episode. It's not the worst thing in the world, I don't think. Like I give it like a 3. It's not terrible. It's just pretty boring. Like, so it'd be nice to see it ran back with a good sense of speed. Giving Torian back to do it again, and give him more time, more experience, stuff like that, to give him the perfect edge he needs to make this fight great. TF2 also really needs a second episode, and I'd be down to see a more modern take on Overwatch because the first 2 episodes for it were pretty early in its life. The obvious negative here is that TF2 just has so many matchup ideas that people really want to see, like Spy versus Agent 47, and I'd personally be more contingent to see a new TF2 episode. The debate on this one could also be improved quite a bit. The research was pretty bad. I still think Tracer wins, but I don't like how they explained it. So if they were going to do this again, that's what I want to see: improved post analysis, improved research. Yeah, so that's what I would do for this one. Important note, I think here, this was requested by a friend of mine to put in, but I would have put it in myself. And he put it in because he thinks that Scout would win. I just wanted to preface that I don't put any of these in with the expectation to change a winner. If the same person won each time, I would still be good with that. Alright, we're nearing the end here, but we got a few more to look through. Mario versus Sonic. I just found the stupidest thing I could find for this. What is this? Why is there just like a random like spot of fire? Is it the fucking secret ring? Anyways, so Mario vs Sonic. Both of the first 2 episodes, in my opinion, are pretty middling. People call the second one awful. I don't think it's the worst. The writing is pretty, yeah, but like some of the action's good. I like the power combination. The first one is just kind of also it's a lot longer. It has more power combinations, but also the actual action isn't very interesting. Neither the analysis. So, you know, seeing it again would be pretty cool. Just so it can be given the proper touch, like Bowser versus Eggman. It's consistently debatable, which is nice. I personally think Mario wins pretty handily, but, you know, you can argue to the end of the earth about this fight, so seeing it again would be good. It has good potential. Shit. I gotta stop doing that. It has good potential, just in general, obviously. You know, this fight could have so many ways it could go. My problem with it, and why I don't really want to see it, is that Bowser vs. Eggman exists and kind of fills the niche it would, even if it's a pretty different type of fight. And I've seen so much of this series combo on the show, I don't really need more of it. I'd rather have more interesting Mario and Sonic matchups. I don't know who those would be, uh, but I just don't really want to see this series combo, at least for a while. There's also other Sonic and Mario characters I'd want to bring in that aren't Mario and Sonic. A Yoshi run back? That would be peak. So would a Peach run back, obviously. Dante versus Bayonetta. This is kind of has the opposite problem of TMNT Battle Royale, where it's a great episode with tons and tons and tons of potential, but it's also a great episode that I don't really need to see a run back of. Like, there's not really a reason for it, and Dante and Bayonetta don't really have many other matchups I see people talking about. They kind of peaked here. I mean, I could see other Bayonetta characters and other DMC characters coming on, but, like, there's not much to say. This is a good episode that people want to see back again because they want these characters back, but I don't really know if it will be worth the time. Who knows, though? I would love to see another behind the scenes of this one in particular, because I remember back in the day when they showed the motion capture process, and it's like all the random guys just doing like the Bayonetta seductive walk. Does anyone else remember that? I'm gonna see if I can find a clip of that and edit it in if I remember. And to end it off, here's a matchup I wasn't going to put in this video, but someone kind of convinced me to put it in here. Chun-Li versus Mai. Neither have great modern matchups, and it's been so long since either character has been on. It's just this episode. And you know what? Yeah, no, they've gotten tons of modern stuff. I think this is a pre-Street Fighter 4 even. So they've got tons of cool modern stuff to go through. They've got tons of cool... they've crossed over more times than ever. Um, they've just been in so many more things, and like... this is a great matchup too, so fuck it, yeah, this is a great idea. That is probably my second most wanted on this list, ironically. Um, if I had like anything to say about this, I'm sure there's other matchups for these two that people want more instead of a rematch, but I don't know any of those, and like the only other like Street Fighter matchup I see in the modern day is like Jury versus Melina, and I don't really want that one that much because they don't really have many connections behind Psychopathy, so if they're going to do any Street Fighter matchup, I'd rather they run this or an older one back. Yeah, that's about my opinion. Side note, does anyone else forget that Ryu versus Scorpion was an episode? Like, I just always forget that one exists, and I think that's very funny. This is the end now. Here's my call to action. You must like and subscribe to the video, or I will murder you and your family. I won't actually, but, you know.